this is kind of a video, well, people won't actually expect when it comes to this fandom might be dying due to the stuff that's been happening earlier this year. And also some anti-bronies who completely despise the fandom for what they completely do and what they like while they don't accept it because of how childish it is when a group of people like a kid's show and yet they decide to make fun of them no matter what. Well, I'm only making this video because we might know for sure that season 9 will be the final season of My Little Pony. And that could mean that the Brony fandom could easily die because I'm going to explain later on the opinions of what the Bronies are going to think about Generation 5 comes out in 2020. Now, to be honest, I think the Brony fandom should live forever. Now, we know for sure that BronyCon in 2019 will be the final one. However, there are different cons out there like PonyCon, Apple Cider Con or something like that. I don't know. There's so many different cons about ponies and stuff. And to be honest, I think the reason why BronyCon is coming to an end is because, well, we don't celebrate Equestria Girls as much as My Little Pony because My Little Pony is obviously better than Equestria Girls by some bronies. And the fact that, well, after BronyCon 2019, they have fears that change could easily ruin the fandom. In other words, rebooting My Little Pony again in Generation 5. Well, to be honest, I really don't want the Brony fandom to end because we've seen so many things happening between not only the fan base of My Little Pony, but people's lives as well. What I mean by that is that there's two DVDs called A Brony Tale and Brony's The Extreme Unexpected Adult Fans of My Little Pony. I own both of these, but the Brony's fans ones isn't working. It's probably a Dick's error problem, but hopefully I can watch the whole thing. But my point is that this completely changed everything. I don't know if there was Bronies back in 2010, but in 2011, it's starting to grow and grow and grow. And every time it gets bigger, it never stops. 2012 and 2013 was one of the biggest years of the fandom because of people making different ideas like making animations, shorts like Double Rainboom, and the fact that they have a website called Fanfiction, FIM Fiction that just became a thing in 2011, which actually surprised me that it's 7 years old and I joined that last year. And people completely improved the channels ever since they know about the show. Like the show has so many different things. They completely get inspired to what they can do and how they can have a new style of what they want to be in the future. I mean, without My Little Pony Generation 4, I don't think none of this would have ever happened. In my opinion, things like this completely makes everyone completely famous and have some kind of hobby they can easily enjoy and hang out. Now, there are other fan bases like Adventure Time, Pokemon, and even Sonic the Hedgehog that has similar fan bases like this, but unlike those, they do a variety of things like Brony Reacts. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. And not only that, other than Brony's Reacts, there's so many different reaction styles like Analysis React and Brownies React. Yeah, that's really a thing. I can't find it, but you have to check online. And we made so many different websites involving My Little Pony and how it completely changed our lives for the better. I completely, really wish that Generation 4 would at least go renew it for a 10th season, but the thing is, you need to understand that they're running out of ideas. The biggest reason why Generation 5 is gonna happen sooner and Generation 4 is gonna end next year is because they're really running out of ideas. I mean, Twilight Bean an outcome was a thing that happened almost 6 years ago. And by that time, people were complaining. And by this time, after season 8, I think Twilight's character has completely maxed out and pretty much used. I really think that the other characters probably got used really easily, and they're doing different ideas like the Sounds of Science episode, which I didn't watch by the way, which is a good episode that they involve different ideas, but they probably need to think of something new of what they're going to do next. And in season 9, while there's going to be 3 specials exclusively for My Little Pony, I don't think they're ever going to do something new like this again. I mean, I completely don't understand of what's the next step of My Little Pony Generation 4 in season 9. I mean, we still didn't get any information, but the thing is, we only have one more season left, and the reason why they're completely ending the show afterwards is because they need to take their time focusing on Generation 5. They're probably they're doing the writing on the movie and the other stuff, and there's probably a big information that might get a reason onto why it's getting a reboot instead of a sequel. Because in my opinion, the ponies like Twilight and her friends really don't need a reason to continue. I mean, people can say that there could be a next element of harmony, but the thing is, I don't know if it's really possible to make a character who's going to be one of the main characters in the show likable. I mean, it can work, but if you saw Generations 1, 2, and 3, it didn't turn out well. But I will say this, in Generation 5, it's probably gonna be the same writers who wrote the Generation 4 episodes. And they probably got more experience ever since they kept working on the show from time after time again. And they probably got some inspiration from Lawrence, I can't spell her last name, but they probably got inspiration from her, and they're probably going to have the Generation 5 one more unique and trying to have adults get into the show as well. They completely recognize that they got so many fans and so many good things happening due to the successes of all those seasons and from Equestria Girls. And they don't want to do the same mistake when Generations 1, 2, and 3 were done poorly. Especially of how far the Brony fandom has gone even after the Golden Age. 2014 and 15 were getting more improved and years later it would still get more improved by newcomers like Finn the Pony. Yeah, someone actually completely, if I can find him, is he here? No, he's not. Anyway, my point is that other ponies like newcomers, if I can find anything, have completely attached and completely felt happy and make so many friendships all the way during this time. And believe me, this kind of idea of having so many fans come together is a great idea. It really can make everyone feel better and improve new careers. We have like less optional things we can do back in the past, but now from the way we're here at this moment, we can see new opportunities, different things. Technology has changed over time. But I will admit that the Brony fandoms can be problematic. Like I said, things don't usually stay the same a lot, and I can understand why anti-Bronies completely despise Bronies. Mainly the Toon Critic incident that happened earlier this year. Yeah, I know I wasn't part of the conversation earlier this year, but the reason what that is that I wasn't completely interested or shocked about it. Not that I'm defending Toon Critic, which I'm not. It's just that the fact that I was doing other things. I was doing WWE month in January and Valentine's half month in February. So I was completely busy and I didn't want my schedule to go to waste. By the way, if anyone's going to be wondering if I'm ever going to make a video about Toon Critic, that scandal has probably been over and moved on, considering the fact it's earlier this year, and, well, apparently I don't want to be in the same situation that he's in right now, and people will probably just want to forget about him and move on. But if you comment down below, I might talk about it and give you my thoughts about him. And as for anti-bullies like Lily Pad, oh my god. She's also a terrible anti-bully, completely not thinking about her mistakes, and it's really unbelievable that he's still around. I just don't understand how it's possible for anti-bullies to actually stay alive. But anyways, my point is that despite the show coming to an end, even though that we might get annoyed by having the Brony community completely going on and on about how great season 9 is, season about Generation 4 is, then it's probably okay. I mean, like I said, they're trying to make Generation 5 different and trying to reboot it so they can easily have the Brony fandom go on in some way. You need to give the animators some chances. Even though that this show, Generation 4, has done so many great things, just keep in mind, they're getting close to running out of ideas. I mean, the school friendship was a good concept for season 8, but as for season 9, well, it's the final season, and we might figure out what's going to happen next. And the reason why, and I think that people might be scared that change could be a scary thing, which I will admit, it's a very dangerous ideal that people won't agree on, but you need to keep this in mind. We need to at least move on for the better or good, because if the show goes on for like probably another 10 seasons, then it'll probably get more redundant and there's no point for the show to continue. I would say that going on for a 10th season with the show having 10 seasons is a good way to have the show have 10 seasons. But if it goes on for way too long, people will get really bored and irritated. Now, even though if the show is going to come to an end, Equestria Girls will still go on. People may argue that Equestria Girls is completely bad because the Brony fandom are completely on and off about this spin-off series. Well, it's literally the only thing we have that came out of Generation 4. And besides, the show is just trying to be very unique, which I'm having second thoughts about it after Twilight was gone after Rainbow Rocks. It's literally the only thing that we have, and they're trying their best to at least have some occupation after Generation 9. Keep in mind, we don't have any information now Equestria Girls is coming to an end, just like in Generation 4. All we know is that we get Season 2 and 2 specials from Equestria Girls. So anyway, I will say that people completely need to calm down about this whole situation that they're about to deal with. The Brony fandom isn't going to die, but My Little Pony might come to an end. For Generation 4, that is. People need to at least be happy and do other things, like make art, make animation, make a Bronies React or something. Because it's the only way for having a fandom to keep going on for a long, long time. And for a fandom that became a thing earlier this decade, you really want this fandom to go on forever. Like the Sonic fandom, which is a controversial fandom that I don't want to talk about. The SpongeBob fandom, it's gotten better because of the new seasons. And the fact that the other fandoms that kept going on for so many years but came to an end like Adventure Time, you need to completely make the show and make yourselves more happier every time you think of My Little Pony. This show has brought up so much friendships over the past decade. Well, earlier this decade. But yeah, earlier this year was kind of a bad start for the Brony community. But still. And as for the analysis community, well, I would easily talk about them, but you should really talk about the people who completely made the analysis community a great place. I think that these people they completely improve their lives by making so many videos about their thoughts about the episodes and also doing great crossovers. That's how great Generation 4 can do. And if Generation 5 does the same, then the Brony fandom will probably go on, and then by the time in the next decade, where we get announced that Generation 6 is going to be a thing and probably get rebooted, it would be the same thing. See, this is how what My Little Pony should do. Make both generations, make generations 5 and possibly 6 almost as entertaining, but not completely similar to generation 4. I hope you guys really understand that. I became a Brony for about 2.5 years, and even though it's kind of late, I still managed to make rants about Equestria Girls, months dedicated to My Little Pony, and the marathon. Just keep this in mind. I really hope that the Brony fandom will live on forever until the end of time. Otherwise, well, then none of this will have never happened. You need to make this last for the rest of everyone else's lives.